speak to the village. Do I have any octogenarians in the room? Septuagenarians? Any of the elders? Speak up. Thank you. How y'all doing, Hotel? I got some notes here. I got to put my glasses on. You know I'm a senior citizen now, so I'm going to put the best part of 55 on my face so I can see these things. Again, let me just start out by saying welcome to the 6th annual Kemet in the Desert series. And again, what a day, what a day. As we look forward, as I request information, I first want to welcome everybody to the 2019 Black History Month here in Las Vegas. To my Muslim brethren, Assalamu Alaikum. To my Buddhist family, Namaste. To my Jewish family, Shalom. To my Wakanda tribe, Woo! To my Rasta villagers, all praises due from the God and the Most High. To my fellow Christians, won't he do it? That's right. To my LGBT community, hey y'all. To my extraterrestrial brothers and sisters and cousins out there, may the force be with you. And to the rest of your family, what's up? All right, here we go. Welcome, 2016. We are in 2019. We have been oppressed in these lands for almost over 400 years, because I'm sure it started before we got here. What a journey. Over last night and tonight, we would have paid path in respect to that glorious journey. See, for me, Black history doesn't begin with the Middle Passage. Black history, where it all started, is on the continent where man started, the first man and the first woman, in civilization, where they created it. Black history is a chance for us to see that we are the Alpha and Omega. And since it's time, oh my God, here we are, 400 years later, as I stated to you, we've been here. So, let me pull his notes out properly. We've gone from the energy of Obama, just say yes, to Trump's cloud of just say no. This particular darkness began in 2016. We witness it every day. We saw that evil cloud descend from the escalator. Y'all saw it? Y'all know evil was right there? Some of us did. As a nation, we're watching our country just slide down to a day where dysfunction, amoral behavior, racism, vulgar, and sexist language is rewarded and often popularized. Black history is our chance to come out of the darkness Dr. King talked about. Dr. King understood the meaning of that Black history. As you would know, it was started with 1 week and it's expanded. Just as we have now our 6th year, we started with 1. Again, the annual chance to come out of the darkness means respecting our queens. Under the current administration and witnessing their marginalization, we have to stand up like Dr. King would have stood up for Coretta, like Malcolm would have stood up for Betty. Coming out of the darkness recognizes that if we don't stand against their marginalization, ours is coming next. Glorifying God, not gangsters, is coming out of the darkness. I was going to say amen, I put one there. Selling drugs just because they're in our community to our parents, to our loved ones, and refusing to do so is coming out of the darkness. Black History Month allows you to come out of the darkness into the light of history, which is your armor. Voting and supporting visionaries with true leadership, placing them in the office as you would have placed Malcolm, is true coming out of the darkness. Understanding that wicked internet leadership is not always right, and we put up with it in our own community, we must put a stop to that. For providing leadership to the next generation, as Dr. Betty Shabazz did at Mega Ever College, where I was take classes with her, and I realized her gift to me when she said, Franklin, stop procrastinating. Because I said, Mr. Oscar Robinson, if you don't know, you're about to know. The brother got Latin on his wall from the HBCU. Y'all know what that is? It's a black college. So if you were an actor there, you acting up. Because you know how we are on those college campuses. So Mr. Oscar Robinson has come back. He's become one of my best friends, and I'm glad to say we can count on him for his services. Please tell somebody how important African American History Month is to you. We have an event tomorrow night. It's all about the music. There's a message in the music. There was a message in the music when we went to the continent, as I've been blessed to do, before we built the water system, before we planted anything. There was a song that night. There was a song in the morning. Even if we're gonna build a house, we sang a song. Even if we was going to war, we beat the drums. There was something about a message in the music. Tomorrow, through the night of the Negro Spiritual, you need to come out and see what happens, because that same message that built homes was the same message that held us in the boats, was the same message that became our fortress of understanding, love, oppression, and reconciliation, because those were the original Negro slave songs. Wade in the water meant something. Y'all don't know that no more. But we're going to hear all about it, because that same message went through Motown. Y'all know Marvin Gaye. That was the Jim Crow ever. You know Ray Charles. Georgia. There's a message in the music. So we're going to hear that message tomorrow, and it carries all the way through. Bob Marley, y'all ever hear Redemption Song? Old pirates, yes, they rob I. Sold I to the merchant ship. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand was made mighty. That's right, by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation redemption songs. Tomorrow, come out, the Night of the Negro Spiritual. E.C. Adams. Y'all know E.C.?
Yeah.
He puts it down in a major way. We're going to make him sweat. And then also we got Icy Jones. And this is all the Night of the Negro Spiritual. Because even though you may not hear Kanye Tither, you may not know the Migos, there's a message in the music. There's definitely a message in the music. So without any further ado, I want to bring to the stage my friend, one of the greatest guys I know in terms of that thespian art of making us feel something, because that's what art is. It should make you feel something. Strap on your black history. Under the upcoming days, it's going to be harder to fortify yourself if you don't have knowledge. Get knowledge, people. Spread love and stay black. I'm Franklin G. I'm the executive producer of The Breakdown, Wednesdays nights 6 to 8. Like It Is Radio, 10 to 11. All on your public radio station, the people's best. We are one, KCEP FM. Enjoy your Black History Night. I turn you over to the MC, Mr. Oscar Robinson. Thanks.
Gentlemen, and welcome as we wrap up the 6th annual Kemet in the Desert Black Weekend 2019, baby. A near and platinum production. I'm Oscar Robinson, your host. Good evening. The word Nia is Swahili. It means purpose. And one of our purposes is to enlighten and awaken the community, and we will certainly, most certainly do that tonight. You know, in order to escape slavery, Africans had to be creative and bold. Because we couldn't read or write, we developed secret communication codes. For example, we used quilts as maps to navigate to the Underground Railroad. Now, underground means secret. Railroad means transportation. The secret transportation was the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River was the Underground Railroad. Because we couldn't just break out and run, in order to communicate, we used the talking drums. Africans escaped from slavery for many years using this African sound, until the slave masters broke the code and shut the talking drums down. So we had to communicate another way. We developed codes and songs like "Steal Away," "I Ain't Got Long to Stay." It was a code. Master thought we was just some singing happy Negroes, but we were planning our escape on the Underground Railroad. Songs like "Wade in the Water" was a code. It meant go through the water so the dogs can't track your scent. Songs like "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Coming for to Carry Me Home" it was a code. I looked over yonder, what did I see? A band of angels coming after me. It meant a band of abolitionists coming after me. A chariot is transportation. If you take the seat off a chariot, you got Harriet Tubman coming for to carry me home. That's right, give it up for them. These songs became known as Negro spirituals, and tonight we celebrate our ancestors in song. Summertime.
They got our women out here acting like a bunch of Beulahs, Sapphires, Aunt Jemimas. Got our men out here acting like Step and Fetch, Manti Moreland and Willie Best and some Rochesters. What's America done for me? Nothing but made me a zombie.
They always talking about something white, teaching us about some Mary had a little lamb. Mary was white, the lamb was white, and what about old Snow White? Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to give her poor dog a bone. Alive. She gave that dog a steak and gave the bone to Negroes. Neck bones, pig feet, ham hock, chitlins, gut. Made us gut eaters, whiskey consumers, dope users, Uncle Tom Jigaboos. That's what America's done for me. Made me a robot, a Frankenstein, a puppet. What has America done for me?
Nothing but made me a zombie.
If you are seeking justice in education, it is complete frustration, humiliation, and annihilation. What has America done for me?
Nothing but made me a zombie.
They teach us everything that's white is right. Everything we learn is white. English is.
What?
Math is.
What?
Science is.
What?
History is.
What?
What has America done for me?
Nothing but made me a zombie. America, America, why did you bring us here? 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 America.
Formation, said firmly with no hesitation. We're not bothered by your condemnation, it's simply validation. And the very reason we're celebrating. This is the manifestation of a bloodline that births a nation. We're not offsprings, we're the foundation of the creation. When you sit on Mother Earth, you're drinking our libation. This is lyrical liberation. Queen Bee's black fist standing on Rock Nation. Oh, you want to be mad at something? Be mad at the blood on the hands of this nation. This is the reincarnation of a spirit that has no expiration, that old Negro spiritual salvation, that down south church fan waving congregation. However, since you seem to need clarification, this is for 40 acres and a mule reparations, for picking cotton in the field with no compensation, for not telling slaves about their emancipation, for telling Rosa to eat in the back of your transportation. This is for Martin and Malcolm's assassination, for a racist system and an evil administration, for countless years of segregation, for Sandra Bland dead in a police station. This is for the raping of our black nation, for telling our brothers to assume the formation, for being in a system chained to probation, for every gun of suffocation. This is the reincarnation of everyone you have ever murdered with no damned justification. Now you bow down and assume the formation.
Troubles, the world is here. Troubles, the world is here. Troubles, the world is here. Ooh, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Take
Since it was mentioned that your speakers now missed a day's work, it is now, I started my career in 1874. So it's not 44 years. A little math quiz. If I started my career in 1874, and it's now 2020, little math problem. How many years have I been involved in my career? 146 years. Well, you know, one of those numbers that's got to be off is probably the 1874. But I do want to say this. In China, when are doctors paid?
When they cure the disease.
In China, very good. In China, doctors are paid when you're well. There's a book we have for you outside. It's titled, Satan, I'm Taking Back My Health. Because in America, 1 of every 2 of us will die of heart disease. Because most of us couldn't go one day without fried food. Oh, it's going to get quiet up in this Presbyterian church tonight. 1 of every 3 of us will die of cancer because most of us eat cooked food. For homework, what percent of your diet is cooked? That will let you know your chances of encountering cancer. 1 of every 6 of us will die of diabetes. Quick footnote. Don't ever compare yourself to your grandparents. Because in 1920, I didn't make a mistake. In 1920, how many pounds of sugar did the average American consume? Class, 4 pounds. In 1920. It's now 100 years later. How many pounds does the average American consume of sugar?
120.
Very good, 155 pounds of sugar. One of my pet peeves is special education. And we can reduce the number of black children in special ed if we had sugar-free schools in the state of Nevada. 4 of every 10 women suffer from fibroid tumors, heavy bleeding, menstrual cramps. I'm speaking in Las Vegas High School now. I can't tell the high school girls from the high school teachers. Since 1930, little girls have been starting their menstrual cycle 6 months earlier for every decade since 1930. Little girls now starting their menstrual cycle as early as 8 years of age. We are the only mothers that send our babies to another mother for milk. Cow's milk develops the body. Your milk develops the brain. Last point, and then I'll leave you alone on diet. If you consume 3 meals a day, and it's 7 days in a week, heavy math problem. 3 meals a day, 7 days in a week, how many meals does the average American consume? The $1 million question is, did you eliminate 21 times? I mean, you didn't know pork stays 12 to 14 days. And the worms never leave. Beef, 8 to 12. Chicken, 6 to 8. Fish, 3 to 5. Fruits and vegetables, in and out. Some of us had a meal in 1999. It's still up in there. It needs to come out. But now that I have your attention, repeat after me. We are the offspring of the ancestors who would not die.
Can we say it again?
We are the offspring of the ancestors who would not die. A lot of our people died on the slave ship.
Yes, they did.
A lot of our people died in the dungeon. A lot of our people died on the plantation. But not your ancestors. They endured it.
That's right.
Because they were looking for something special to happen. on February 22nd, 2020. Let's give it up for our ancestors. Schools teach more than 3 hours. They teach values. And most schools teach us to value I and not we. They teach us to value competition and not cooperation. It was a long time ago. I'm in Chicago. I'm in 6th grade. My best teacher, and by the way, I can still call the roll. Kindergarten, Mrs. Avery. 1st grade, Mrs. Collins. 2nd grade, Mrs. Bird. 3rd grade, Mr. Payne. 4th grade, Mrs. Allen. 5th grade, Mrs. Bird. 6th grade, Mrs. Butler. And that's why I want to park for just a moment. It was in 6th grade, so let me see. 6th grade, that would have been 1859. It was a long time ago. It was a math test, and I received 100 on the exam. And she said, "What about your best friend, Daryl?" And I snickered, and she didn't like that. She said, "Son, bring your paper to my desk." She asked me one last time, "What grade did Daryl receive?" And I said, 40. I had 100 on my test. She drew an X through my 100 and wrote 40. And said, "From now on, whatever grade Daryl received will now be yours." She was the first person in 1859 that taught me the Nguzo sign. That taught me Ma'an. That taught me you were blessed to be a blessing to somebody else. You know, it's amazing. I spent all this time developing the speech. And then Holy Spirit takes it over. Okay. Changes the order of things. Yes. Tells me right now my point that was going to be number 15, Du Bois's talented 10th. I want to bring Clarence Thomas in on this one. See, there's a reason why Mrs. Butler drew an X through my 100 and wrote 40. She wanted to teach me to whom much is given, much is required. Clarence Thomas was admitted to Yale University off affirmative action. He gets on the Supreme Court bench and he votes against affirmative action. See, Mrs. Butler was trying to teach me something. But tonight, what we want to do is that rather than me doing all the talking, I understand you're brilliant. And by the way, let's get it for Jabari, who gave an excellent presentation on Thursday and Friday. So the doors just got locked. No one's getting out. It's now time for final exam. Question number one. I'm serious. I'm asking the questions. You're giving the answers. If you don't give the right answers, you'll spend the rest of the night up in this theater. Question number one. Are there more black males in prison? Yes. Can I wait? See, you're very right now. You're hyperactive. You're ADD. You're ADHD. That's what they do with our most brilliant students. So I would much rather have a student blurting out the wrong answer than someone sleep way in the back. Now, before I was so rudely interrupted, see, it's always good coming back to Vegas. The question was, are there more black males in prison or are there more black males in college? Prison. You're correct. It's prison. While we're speaking here tonight, there's over 1 million black males in prison. And 90% of them are there because they can't read be on the 6th grade level. They were on the corners between 10 o'clock at night and 3 o'clock in the morning. In the wrong place at the wrong time. But the media has been lying to us. While there's over 1 million black males in prison, this year we broke another record. There are 1.4 million black males in college. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. And 3,000 of them are in Morehouse. If you ever get frustrated and are close to burning out, you need to visit the house. You see over 3,000 African American males with an average ACT score of 26, an average SAT score of 1650, a GPA of 3.2, brilliant brothers, and the media says nothing about it. Quick footnote, at our single gender black school in Chicago, Urban Prep, we created this school 7 years ago in the poorest neighborhood of Chicago, Inglewood. The only high school in Inglewood was Harper High School, with a graduation rate of 35%. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Yes. Oh, yes, it can. Yes. Now, 7 years ago, there were only 100 freshmen entering Urban Prep. There was only one sheet of paper on every young man's desk. Does anyone have any idea what that sheet of paper was? It was a college application. We were telling these young men in no uncertain terms, not only will you graduate from Urban Prep, but we expect you to go to college. And we drilled that into them for the next 4 years with 100% acceptance in the college. Let's give it up for Urban Prep. Next question, because you failed the first one. Question, what percent of the NBA, the National Black Association, 7 of y'all caught that, the rest of y'all still thinking about it. What percent of the NBA is African American? 89. Very good. 86%. Question, what percent of the doctors and engineers are African American? 2. Our youth believe they're better in sports than science. Believe they're better in music than math. Believe they're better in rap than, it's gotten so bad. When I speak at schools nationwide, some youth think if you're on the honor roll, you're acting white. Now, being smart is acting white. Then how do you act black? Third question. Which group has the highest educational attainment in America? Let me give you the groups first. Let me help you out. Would it be Asians? Would it be African Americans? Would it be Hispanic Americans? Would it be Jewish Americans? Would it be Indian? Would it be white American? Would it be other? Class. Very good. Asians, third. Indian, fourth. White, fifth. Jewish American, second. Nigerian, first. Now, I've just done something very unfair. I've compared immigrants to enslaved Africans. I've compared a group that voluntarily came here with their culture intact, with a people forced to come here and only given the month of February to learn their history and their culture.
Come on now.
You don't compare immigrants to people forced to come.
Come on now.
But the good news, you can overcome racism
Come on.
when you know your culture.